It is a special honor for me to address you at the signing of this joint letter of intent between the Atal Innovation Mission and the World Intellectual Property Organization. As Dr. Saraswat, my colleague, has indicated, India stands at a pivotal point in its journey towards becoming a global hub of innovation and entrepreneurship. And I'm sure such a collaboration would prove to be a milestone initiative in this journey. I would use this occasion to refer back to India's very successful G20 presidency and the action India took to represent the voices of the South, symbolized by the inclusion of the African Union as a full-fledged member of the G20. And it is in that spirit of sharing, as it were, innovations within India to the rest of the global South that this particular arrangement with WIPO assumes special significance. Since India opened its economy in 1991, the pressure to innovate has increased consistently in the face of global competition. More recently, added to these pressures has been the need to promote entrepreneurship to create jobs for India's large working age population. But I think it's more than that. I think both the Prime Minister and the Education Minister have rightly noted that India is by culture an entrepreneurial society, and so as some of the basic necessities, hunger, shelter, are being taken care of, it makes perfect sense for India to create a culture of innovation. Since the Honourable Minister did refer in his remarks to encouraging NITI Aayog to organize a brainstorming on an overall innovation culture, let me just provide some additional reflections on what the Honourable Prime Minister sees as the basis for a culture of innovation. I think addressing on Science Day last year, the Honourable Prime Minister talked about the need to inculcate a kind of scientific temper, a temper of inquiry, starting from the school level. And that really is the inspiration for the Atal Tinkering Labs, which is to provide an opportunity and resources for students, starting from a fairly young age, to experiment, innovate, develop, design. And so I think when we talk about a substrate that finally ends up with the need for intellectual protection, IPR, it really starts at the very basis of schooling. Let me also make an observation from economic history, if I could. Many of you know that after a long period of more or less static standards of living, in the 20th century, we saw the unprecedented experience of living standards rising exponentially for more than a century. And work that has been done, particularly on the US by an author called Bradford DeLong, indicates that behind this was the institutionalization of innovation, but in the case of the US, less in government, more in corporate labs. So where all of us are is because the world discovered an institutional mechanism to institutionalize innovation. The corporate lab, and then, of course, after that, government labs in the United States. I'm saying this because our aspiration is now to become Viksit Bharat by 2047. And what I think we are experiencing, and the invitation from the Honorable Minister, is for us to think about the institutionalization of innovation in India, for India's population, at India's level of per capita income, which may be just as powerful for India and for the globe as the industrial lab was in the US. And indeed, in the conversation with me prior to this meeting, you know, Dr. Mr. Pradhan did also talk about harnessing corporate CSR contributions, etc. So that is very much the quarter-century innovation journey that lies ahead of us.